What's up, guys? Here's your boy Krusty. Welcome back to Krustys Fabrication. Today's video, not quite sure how long it's going to take to film. I haven't really been feeling well lately, so I'm kind of doing short little stints on the video and actual short work on it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and show you what I've done so far off camera. Okay, like I said, I just kind of got things kind of cleaned up. I got the core support out. I'm going to do some more cutting. So I pull this off. You can see I've got some places marked. I'm going to cut this whole thing out. I want to leave just the section where the hood like stopper lives. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to cut everything out right here where the light sits on both sides. Also, I went ahead and got that motor mount swapped out, as you can see right here. That way the motor sits up where it's supposed to. Not quite sure what I want to do down here yet. I just got this right here kind of placed apart. It's actually almost the exact length I need. If I decide to build it out of 1x1, I could do maybe one here and then maybe one all the way up against this, and then brace from here up to the top and just make like a boxed in frame, and maybe come down here, do the same down there. Haven't quite figured it out yet. I am a little wobbly on my stands here. Not quite sure how I want to do this yet. It is slightly bent down. I noticed that when I was doing the motor mount. I'm glad I got the motor kind of sitting where it needs to be, though. With that being said, though, let me go ahead and get you set up, and I'm going to start cutting out. Also, before I start doing the cutting out, I just thought of something else that I wanted to show you. I am going to use the Dodge Shadow Sundance latch support. I kind of got a drawing up here. I went ahead, most of you know there's like a lip that's here. I started off by trying to cut it out, and then I was like, you know what, let me just pinch it over. So I got to do a little tack weld here and a tack weld there where the grinder got a little heavy. But yeah, I just kind of, as you can see right here, I just kind of hammer dollied this whole lip over to kind of bend it over like a pinch weld or whatever you call it. And then I think I'm gonna come in here, not necessarily cut this out, but I'm definitely gonna bang this in a little bit. Maybe make some relief cuts in here so I can bang this in a little bit to give me some more space behind here, because of that nub that sits there. It doesn't quite want to sit there fully, and I'm thinking about having it actually more over this. It's not necessarily fully centered, but that's about where I want to have it. I think either there, I think I actually want it like right there. But I got some 2x2 strap, or 2-inch strap, that I'm gonna probably weld in here to cover this hole, and then I'll re-drill a hole for this. I don't think this sits up. Okay, and then I'll drill holes, put some quarter 20 riv nuts in there for this to mount to, and I'm gonna have it back just far enough to where this will actuate up. I've measured this sitting inside the core support here, and it's almost exactly 2 inches from this point to the top. So I'm just going to come in here and cut along this orange line that I scribed here and keep this part right here, and I'll weld this to the top of the 1x1 that I put into the radiator core support. Okay guys, so here's what we got after the cutting. Like I said, I'm just leaving this spot right here. It's a little flimsy now because there's no support. Got everything cut out behind the headlight. I'll make some kind of support there for the light. I need to cut this little corner off right here because it's not quite matching over here. So I just want to kind of get it pretty close to what it was over here. Clean up the edges. And kind of what I'm thinking, maybe somewhere in here, I might have to notch it or something like that. Bring it along, however far it needs to be. Basically, before I start building this, I want to get this mounted in the spot that it's going to be in Once this is where it needs to be in and it's fully mounted, and I can sit there and operate this little lever here without it hitting anything, I'll close it, figure out where this piece right here needs to be. I might even attach it, like fully sink this down in there and attach it so that that's where it needs to be. And then I'll come up in here, use, you know, cut this to length. I'll probably go directly to there, directly to there. Might use some of that 2-inch strap to, you know, make a solid weldable spot there. I'll just go from side to side, and I'll probably do the back piece first, the one that's closest to the motor, so that I can locate where that's going to be. So basically this, when this is out of here and I go to weld this up underneath here, I'll have this basically as far back under here as possible to be able to let this, you know, sit on top of it. And then I'll do another one directly in front of it, and then I'll just strengthen it by doing like a ladder work above it, and then tie it down. Probably do a centerpiece there to be able to go to whatever I might build there. As far as there is concerned, not quite sure how I want to do that just yet, which is why I'm going to take a little bit of time to record this video, because I want to plan it out and do it right the first time. I am thinking that if I use this bar located kind of right where the motor mount is down here, I can get it kind of centered of where it is. Looks like it'd be a little high there. I might even be able to use that depending on where the radiator locates. I want to build top down. That way I know where the radiator's got to locate, where the hood latch has got to locate, and then when it comes down to this, I'll make the brackets that hold the bottom of the radiator off this and make my motor mount fit properly. And this one is almost good enough. Like, I could probably use this piece right here, and I got another piece that's pretty close in size to this one. Probably use this up here for the front portion of it, because I'm thinking about building basically like a hollow box out of this. You do one piece here, one piece here at the highest point wherever this mounts right there, go down to this bottom mount, make another piece there, and then go across to the front section under this one, make another piece there, and link it all together with almost like a ladder, or even 45s, something just to give it some strength. Be kind of hollow, and I could fill it. I could either fill it with sheet metal or just leave it exposed. Haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm thinking when I do the stuff up top where the latch mounts down on, I might fill that in with sheet metal, make it look finished. I might even do that down here just to make it look finished. We'll figure that out on it as I get to it. I like the idea of that being almost where it is, because it is directly behind this mount, so it'd give me a place to mount the ground effects to, and I could just kind of come straight across with this and trim that up to where it doesn't look god awful. I don't know, I could even somehow tie the supports from these into these somehow. I definitely got to tie this into this somehow. So it's going to be a fabrication heavy front end, and that's why I want to take my time doing this video. With that being said, I think I'm done for today, and I'll pick up the video on the next day. Real quick guys, before we get back to the action, let me show you how you can support me if you would like to, without spending any extra cash and buying some of the stuff that you already probably buy on Amazon. Okay guys, what you can do to help support me is you can come on over here to Facebook and
follow or add friend or whatever you got to do with this Krustys Amazon links page here. This is what it looks like. And what happens is periodically I'll come here and I'll add products to my photo album. I'm going to try to keep them in order, you know, car audio tools and equipment, car accessories, cookware, you know, just anything and everything that I could find here that I can find a decent deal on. I'm going to post here, and sometimes you might see it similar to this, like this one was save 50% on select products with this promo code. It's only for a limited time. When you see those, just know that these are limited time only options. Sometimes I'll just post the link right here and it'll give like a deal there. I figured that out the other day. It was pretty quick to go to. So yeah, pretty much if you see anything here on this page here that you like and you're wanting to buy, go ahead and click my link and it'll take you directly to that product from my link. And every time you make a purchase using my link, I get a small commission. And that's a great way to help me out if you're buying the products already anyways and you just want to help support me. This is the best way to do it.
Alright, y'all, it's been probably a couple weeks since that last little bit that I was showing you. In that time I had a little bit of a health scare, which would kind of explain why I wasn't feeling well these past few days, or the past few weeks actually. I went to the hospital over a rash that was on my leg, and they were actually more concerned with my blood pressure. So they did some blood work, found out I might be diabetic. So yay, that's another thing to worry about now. I've been struggling with my diet, trying to change that up and everything, so it's gonna take me a little bit of time. Also, as you could tell, anybody that's ever watched me before, I struggle with consistency on these uploads. So one of the things I think I'm gonna do to try to be more consistent is, instead of trying to do a weekly video or daily or whatever most people do, I think I'm gonna go monthly. I might be late getting this one up because I don't know how long it's gonna take to get what I want done. I'm still not feeling the greatest, so I'm basically just working in small portions. Like, I might only do the hood today and try to get the latch somewhat mounted, or at least fabricated in, and then work on it again next week on my next day off. The goal is to maybe, I'm thinking maybe the 1st or maybe even the 15th of every month. At the end of this video, I'll make a decision and I'll let y'all know when to expect a video from me. It's either going to be the 1st or the 15th of the month, and that way it gives me a chance to really get some work done on these things, you know, and not have to worry about rushing through it just to get a video out in one day so that I can get it done for the week, you know. So plan on monthly uploads. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Kind of show you what I got. Okay, so pretty much just go around these corners here after I cut straight right along here. I'm not going to do these holes. I'm just putting that as like a rough estimate of how big it needs to be. I'm going to do 1/4-20s probably in these right here. I do got a drill bit in there that I'm going to use for it, so I don't have to worry about stepping up to that. Got my drill right here, or my hole right here to locate the actual spring for the latch, and then I'll literally just do this. Alright guys, hope you can see this. I know the battery's getting a little bit low now, so this might be all I can handle for today. I got the piece cut out that I'm going to use as a filler piece, and you can see I got this marked right here, kind of about where it's going to go. I'm not gonna cut this out. I might cut in here a little bit to make room, because I think if you hold this up about where it's supposed to go, you can see right there in the middle of that hole, there's a little bit there holding on, and in there too, and there too. If I come over here, as you can see, I've already got the holes drilled. Where's it at? There it is. For my riv nut. So this is just gonna basically kind of sit down in here. I'll scrunch it up in there. I'll probably do that actually. I thought about doing that before I weld it in, but I might not have to, because welding might affect that differently. So I'll wait on the actual mounting of this. But I mean, this is 1/8 inch plate, so I mean that's going to be pretty strong for a hood latch. And then I'll just come in here and weld it in here. I'll probably pull all this stuff off because I don't really like this stuff anyways. I'm going to tape this off so I can keep this kind of stock. I might do the same thing. I think I saw another one or two somewhere. Yeah, right there and there. Honestly, don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep this one because it's so close to be where I'll be welding. I mean, yeah, it's a few inches, a couple inches, but yeah. So that's basically the plan. I'm gonna do this, and as you can see, when I put this kind of where it needs to be, it does kind of hang over a little bit. I'll use more of this to kind of gusset around here and fill it in so that there's more strength going down into the bracing of the hood. And then this will just be like overbuilt for a latch. But that's cool. Yeah. That being said, that's probably all I could do for today. I see my battery is at about 38%, so I'd like to go ahead and get in and get all the stuff moved over, maybe charge it. And I'll probably come out on the next day and finish up this. It'd be next week, you know, when I get another day off. And again, that's why I said I'd like to do these videos maybe once a month, just so it gives me time to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and then post something when I'm actually done with it. So like I said, I'll see you when I get back. Okay guys, it is the next week. I went ahead and got this all cleaned up. I did cut out a lot under here to make room for the bolts to come through here and for this hole. And then for now, I just went ahead and tack welded this in a couple places here. As you can see right there, I got a little out of control. Started burning holes in the thing there, because this is 1/8 inch thick versus what, 16 gauge. And I went ahead and did the little tack welds to fill the spots right there and there that I accidentally cut through when I was trying to do the pinch weld thing there. But all in all, this thing's sitting right where it is there. That's about the perfect location. If I hold that down tight, this goes through its range of motion just fine and clears just barely on that hood. So the next step I'm gonna be doing, probably gonna be on my next day off, because we're kind of expecting a little bit of rain today. I'm gonna go ahead and make a template for this piece right here to kind of fill in right here. I'll make this piece out of that same material that I made this from, and then I'll make some little corner filler pieces for here just to make it all look finished. And I think I'm even going to come in here and make another piece right here just to add a little strength to this area, but also just to fill this hole right here, just to make it look like it all came from here straight up, went down. Once it's all finished out, I'll grind my welds smooth, because I'm a grinder, not a welder. And hopefully it'll be a nice sturdy piece. It's actually just with this piece with a couple tack welds, it's still pretty warm. It's already pretty stout. So any metal that I add to this is just going to add strength. So I'll probably pick this up on my next day off, which is in like 2 days. We're expecting pretty decent weather, nice cool day, and we'll get it done. Also, look like I'm probably going to have to redo this. I typically use magnets instead of the clamp-ons. Just get a nice little bare metal spot there. Set the magnet on there. You don't have to worry about it slipping off or breaking. And as long as your connection here holds, you got a good contact. So I'm gonna have to redo this connection. Okay guys, I lied. It's still the same day. Sun decided to come out, so I just decided to make that filler piece right there. I'm trying not to touch it too much because I just tack welded it in. It's in there pretty good. I decided not to go straight down, or I should say straight up. I just wanted that kind of like angle there just because it flowed better, but it was also coming in to where I could tack along this edge, and I feel like, I don't know, I just wanted to have it flow into this edge, if that makes any sense. A little bit of strength here versus just down there. I'd have had to do more cutting on this side because it's not totally flat right in here. So I just decided to make this piece angled, and then I'll make these pieces just to fill it in right up in here. This will probably take me some time, and then like I said, I'll make this piece up here. But yeah, that's the piece for now. Fabrication. Alright guys, we're back. It's time to get back after this latch. Hopefully I can get this knocked out pretty quick and we can move on to the actual core support. Let me show you what I've already done. Alright, so you guys have already seen this part right here from the last clip. I went ahead and threw some paint on it just so it wouldn't rust over the couple days that I was working. I went ahead and made up some cardboard templates for here on the sides. This one's for this side, this one's for this side, and we just got to cut them out. I'm going to get them tacked in, and then I'll make some, either take some measurements and make one for here and get that tacked in, or I'll just kind of trim something out here after taking measurements here. So let me get that done, we'll be back. Alright guys, I got my two pieces made up. Got this one. This one is for this side over here. Sets up like that. I already got this one kind of set up. I got it as tight as I can this way, this way. I'm gonna put a tack here. Then I'll move the magnet, put a tack down there. I'm gonna take a grinder and get this nice and level before I actually finish tacking it up here. That's just kind of how I like to do it, so it gets nice and trimmed like I did here. Makes it nice and flush. So let me get that, go ahead and get that done, and I'll show you what it looks like after we're done. Alright guys, so I got the sides welded in, and before you say it, yes, I know, my weld sucks. It's ugly. But you know what? I'm stacking boogers, and they holding. So, yes, I had to run an extra bit right here because I fell off the line and I was welding along the edge instead of where I needed to be welding, so I had to do it a double time there. And this metal right here is so thin, I got my welder turned all the way down, but I kept blowing holes, so I just filled it up with weld. Still got a couple little pin holes there. I might do that later. Let's go ahead and get on to making this piece right here. Alright guys, you know what? I decided I'm not going to add this piece. It's purely for visual, just to block this off. And I'm building a base car here, man. It's just for about stereo, so I really just need a latch in place. So I just went ahead and ground down my welds. Yeah, there's a couple spots where I might have missed it. If I decide I want this to look good, I'll just come in here with some body filler, hit up the little spots, maybe some, what do they call it, Duraglass, kitty hair, whatever you like to call it. I just hit it up in there. Same with in here, just to hide the welds. But for now, I think I'm just going to put a coat of paint on it, put my nutserts in, mount the hinge. I'll get the hood hung back up, and we can start worrying about the actual core support. Alright guys, this is pretty much where I gotta do a stopping point. I thought I had some 1/4-20 bolts and washers that I could use for that, but I guess I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store and get some. But yeah, there's my painted product. I did touch it a little bit when it was wet, so that's my bad. But got the rib nuts installed, and really all I'm waiting on is just the well, bolts and washers. But that's a pretty good look at how it's gonna set. I did test it out just by hand. I do have to have these in the slots. I do have to have this all the way up, so where that rib nut is touching this side, in order to get my full strength, or full length of throw for this. But that's just enough. So that being said, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I was gonna continue on until I got the core support done, but as you can see, this right here turned into a lot of work just for this little mount. With the limited time that I have available to work on my cars, I just can't keep stringing along until I get done with the core support. I will kind of show you, however, what I was thinking about doing. I don't think I've mentioned this before, so let me go ahead and show you this. Okay, so this is the, I guess, lower core support, whatever you'd want to do, from a Dodge Shadow. It's actually from a Plymouth Duster, but, you know, same thing. That's the way the motor mount works on it, so I'm considering doing that, but the problem is, if it lays out, it might lay on that instead of everything else. But what I'm thinking about using this for is, not only is this a good structure that's not been tampered with too much, but if you look right there, those holes right there, those are the lower radiator mounts that I was thinking I was missing. So if I put this support in there, I'll know where to locate my radiator. But like I said, I got to work top down. So what I got to do is, now that I've got this done, well, for the most part, just need to get it mounted. I can come in here and attach this piece right here. Just go ahead and kind of set it there and like push it down, and so it's latched. That way I know where this is gonna sit. And when I flip the hood over after everything's bolted up and this is sitting down all, you know, latched up, I'll know where this is gonna sit in space. For the time being, I'll probably cut this part right here off. I like to keep this because it kind of looks factory, but I might put it back on later. But I'll be able to locate this piece right here in space up under the hood, so then I can use my 1x1 to come in here and build from side to side. Now, I was looking at it based on the way it's cut right here, and with the latching mechanism there, I won't be able to like run like I thought I was going to be able to run 1x1 along the bottom edge here. So I'm actually probably going to come off the front, or actually off the bottom I should say, and I'll probably go like this, front to back, and then come around here, and then just build a box around here that I could then trim with sheet metal or whatever. And then I can come off the pieces that I run vertically here and go sideways to each one of the sides. Once I got that located, I could figure out where my top portion of my radiator is going to mount in relation to the bars that I build off here. Go ahead and make mounts for that. That way I know where it's going to locate down here. Once I know where it's going to locate down here, I can take some measurements. I need to be careful about whether or not I cut this out, because I think I'm going to cut this out. but I need to be careful how I cut this out, because I need to keep this piece right here, which is the body, and it's apparently the outside portion of this. So I might do like a little notch and maybe just cut it out, keep the structure, like just cut like a C here and leave some of the structure here, and then just kind of make that one over there made up to that, trim it however it needs to fit in here, and then maybe use some of this same material that I used to build this to add some strength, like a fish plate type of thing. It's kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll get to that part once we get the bolts for this, get the hood mounted back up, which I might do before I go in today, because really all it is now is just putting the bolts in. And yeah. Alright guys, so like I said, that's going to do it for today, for this episode. I think what I'm going to do is, I think today's like the 10th of October. I'm going to give myself enough time. So I'm going to go ahead and get it edited, make sure I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to schedule it to upload on the 1st of November. And every month going forth between now and whenever, I'm just going to go ahead and upload on the 1st of every month starting in November this year. So this video will go up on November 1st. The next video of me hopefully completing the radiator core support will go up on December 1st, and so on and so on and so on. That way I can get a little ahead of things and not have to rush through everything. But with that being said, yeah, so look for videos every 1st of the month. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button down below. Comment what you're thinking, good, bad, or ugly. Let me know what your comments and your thoughts are. Hell, if you got any ideas, shoot them to me. Let me know. And until next time, have a good day. Peace.